So what we're going to be talking about is typography. Now, in some of the videos you've seen, and you're free to switch it up however you want to, you've seen stuff like this where you have, paragraph tag. This is some text. I was like, what? Was there a typo? There we go. Let's move that over. So this is fine. This is legal. There's nothing in Material UI that says you can't do this. But sometimes you want to be able to have or use Material UI as a way of using their typography. And there's ways of overriding this. I'm not going to show it in this video. If you want me to show more customization, just leave a comment below. But I'm just going to show you in this video how to use typography and what are some of the things out of the gate that it could give you. And it's pretty easy to use too, which is nice. When you start seeing, and let's just do this, and yeah, we'll keep it like this so I can just copy and paste it. So we're going to come in first here, and there's going to be a variant, and then let's give it a gutter bottom here, which means it just gives it more space down below. And so I'm going to copy and paste this right here because there's quite a few of them. And I'm just going to kind of go through and show you what you get out of the gate with these. So if we come in here, and we can see that we already have a giant list. So if we come here and do H1, this is H1 typography. This is pretty freaking huge, and this is what you should expect. Now, like I said, you could go into the create MUI or MUI theme, I believe is the name of it, off the top of my head. And you could change these, you could override these. But as I go through and show you these, I kind of want to start pointing something out here. So we're going to come in, we're going to do H2. Let's just give some spacing out because no one's really going to be using this code. And if this is a a visual approach, might as well make it easy on everyone. It's actually payday tomorrow, and I took tomorrow off from work, so I'm quite excited. So we have this right here for our H2. And let me go ahead and come down here, and I'm just going to go through the rest of these headers. And I'm going to copy this right here. That wasn't a very good copy, was it? Let's bring this back on over. So we have H3 right there. And that was, I'm terrible at this, aren't I? I'm going to make this H4, and we're going to go up to 6. And then I'm just going to delete them because there's no point in littering the screen. Oh, didn't like my double equals there. So as we can see, we have these coming down here. Now this is nice. This isn't, too, lavish. There's not gonna be any kind of mystery about what's going on right here. You have all your header tags. But I think the interesting thing for me is when we get into the typography for what I would consider your paragraph tag. Now, if it's just you on a project, it's fine. You may just have one font, and then when you need to do some kind of variance to it, that's cool. But sometimes we may get into an issue, and this actually is occurring with me at work right now. So we have body 1, we have body 2. Doing a lot of copying and pasting here. I shouldn't have coffee this late. My hands are all jittery. And we see here that this will look typically like your font that you get. We see that the second row here for body 2 is slightly smaller, and that's fine. You may want to have a second kind of backup type of font. This is something that your users may see on a normal web page. It may be something where they're reading something, and this is the font for an article. You may change it a little because they're on a different screen size. So if it's on a desktop, you may want to make it bigger. Body 2 is fine. Maybe you want to use this if there's a footer down at the bottom of the page. It's a little bit more low-key, a bit smaller. That's fine. The issue is say you're working for a company that has their own fonts, their own styles you need to implement. Maybe there's something you're trying to emulate. And an issue comes into play here when you override the first body, you override the second one, but then you get to an issue where you need a third or a fourth, like body 2, and you just don't have that. So you have to create a custom type of typography, although it wouldn't technically be a typography. And I'm not going to show you how to do that here. I know hopefully there's not a lot of eye rolling, but I'm just letting you know, if you're diving into this, looking at this for your company, for a personal project, just know if you need, for your typical paragraph text you're going to use, if you need to manipulate it beyond 2 generic kind of standards, you'll have to customize your own, and you would not be using the typography element here at all. So that was me talking for quite a bit about not a lot. So what we're going to look at next are the subtitles. There's 2 of them. Say these are subtitles to movies. Maybe they're for action movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, I'm not sure. Cool. Yeah, I mean, this is really just letting you know that you could do it here. Now, the next ones I'm going to go over, there's 3, so I'm just going to copy one more of these down here. Space that out a little bit more. And what I'm going to show here is a button. The next one is going to be a caption. And this one's going to be a overline, which I've never used before, but we'll designate this as overline. The caption is best stoner movie since I can't remember. And we'll turn this into button. And that does not help us at all there now, does it? Oh, it's because let's just put some breaks in here. Actually, I think there's a better way. A more material UI way. Let's do a display this as a block. I think that's what we're supposed to do here. There we go. Once again, one of those things you gotta, and I know there's double quotes and single quotes here. I think we could all live with that for now. But that's one thing you gotta watch out when you're going through. You can't just, copy and paste something on in. Sometimes there's extra attributes you need to give in depending upon the variants or other attributes you're providing. And so we see the button text up here. Obviously something you could use if you're going to be making a button. The caption here, that's fine. And then the overline looks a little bit kind of odd here. It's like there's extra spacing between the letters, but this is typography in a nutshell. It's pretty nice out of the gate, but once again, you can manipulate it, but just be sure and kind of check ahead of time on how many things you need variations of, because you may get into a pickle if you need multiple variations of, say, a body 1 tag or even one of the headers. Just looking out for you, and yeah, subscribe and appreciate it.